rAmAnuja kathAmrutham, Chapter 13. Sri Vaishnavas were living peacefully in Srirangam under the guidance of Ramanuja. However, the king of that region was a devotee of Shiva and wanted to establish that Shiva was the supreme lord of the universe. He forced everyone to agree. He declared, all scholars must agree that Shiva is the supreme lord of the universe. Naluran, a disciple of Ivan, spoke to the king. He said, what's the use of making ignorant people accept your proclamation? Only if you can make Sri Ramanujacharya and kathAmrutham accept it will it become the ultimate truth. Hearing this, the king sent his soldiers to fetch Ramanuja. When they arrived, Ramanuja had gone for his morning bath. kathAmrutham realized the intentions of the king. He immediately changed his clothes to saffron robes, took the tridandam and went with the soldiers, claiming he was Ramanuja. When Ramanuja returned from his bath, he came to know about Ivan's action from his other disciples. The people nearby warned him to escape from there, since the king could come back any time soon when he finds out the truth. So Ramanuja changed his clothes, wore kathAmruth's white clothes and escaped from there. When some soldiers realized his folly and tried to chase him, he took some sand, sanctified it and gave it to his disciples. They sprinkled it all along the way. When the soldiers stepped on the sand, they felt acute pain and discontinued the chase. Ramanuja, along with a group of disciples, started to travel towards Melkote or thirunArAyaNapura, which was considered a safe place. On the way, while going via a forest, they met some hunters. These hunters were actually patrons of Ramanuja, having been initiated into Sri Vaishnavam by Nalan Chakravarti. They were very happy to have met Ramanuja and offered millets and honey. Everyone else took it except Ramanuja. Ramanuja did not eat the food given by the hunters because he had not performed his anushtanams or daily duties properly due to his travel, so he refrained from consuming any food. The hunters took the group to a nearby village where there was a Brahmana family who then provided them with raw materials to cook food. The wife of the Brahmana, Kongil Achan, requested everyone to eat food cooked by her, but they refused. She persisted as she was also initiated into Sri Vaishnavam by Ramanuja. Kongil Pirati said, please accept food cooked by me. The disciples replied, sorry, we can't eat food cooked by other people. Kongil Pirati said, I'm not an outsider. I was also initiated by Ramanuja when I visited Srirangam. Kongil Pirati described how she came to be Ramanuja's disciple. She said, when I came to Srirangam, even the kings and ministers used to come to Ramanuja to get his blessings, but he used to go around getting alms from people for his food. I asked him why such a contradiction. He said that he gave knowledge about Perumal to them, so I asked him to give the same knowledge to me too, and that's how I got initiated into the Sampradayam. She continued, when we started back to our village, I asked for Ramanuja's blessings. He gave me his divine sandals, and we brought those here. Hearing this, Ramanuja asked his disciples to accept the food offered by her. He instructed one of the Sri Vaishnavas to closely watch her activities. After cooking, she took the food, went inside her puja room and meditated in front of the Koil Alvar. The Sri Vaishnava who was following her activities looked at this and noticed that the deity inside the Koil Alvar, which is the Sannidhi where Perumal Vigraham, that one does his or her daily aradhana in his or her house, is placed. So the Sri Vaishnava noticed that the deity inside the Sannidhi looked different from usual deities he had seen. He informed this to Ramanuja. Ramanuja wanted to know what was going on. He asked Kongil Pirati, "What were you doing inside?" And she said, "I prayed to the divine sandals of Ramanuja and offered the cooked food to them." Ramanuja said, "Can you please bring them to me?" And she said, "Yes, sure, here they are." Ramanuja realized that those were his own sandals. He asked Kongil Pirati, "Do you know if Ramanuja is here?" Kongil Pirati lit a lamp and checked everyone's feet. When she saw Ramanuja's feet, she was overjoyed. She said, "Your feet resemble the divine feet of Ramanuja, yet you're wearing white robes. I'm confused." Ramanuja said, "I'm the one. Can you please repeat the instructions I gave you when you came to meet me?" She repeated what he had instructed. Then Ramanuja advised everyone to consume the prasadam cooked by her, although he didn't take any food because the food was not offered to Perumal. She then offered him some fruits, milk and sugar, and he consumed them, offering them to Perumal. After the Sri Vaishnavas had eaten, she collected all the food remnants and offered them to her husband, Kongilachan, but she didn't eat them. Her husband asked her, "Why are you not eating these?" Kongil Pirati replied, "You haven't accepted Ramanuja as your Acharya until now. He has come here all the way and is staying at our home. I'll consume this prasadam only if you agree to become his disciple." He agreed, and then she consumed the prasadam. The next morning, Kongilachan went and surrendered to Ramanuja, who happily took him as his disciple. Then Ramanuja got his saffron robes and his tridandam back and started to go further west. The group reached a village known as Salagramam, where there were a lot of Buddhists and Jains who ignored Ramanuja. Buddhists and Jains are sects of people following the religions Buddhism and Jainism respectively. They believe everything is an illusion, this life, earth, God, everything. And this is in opposition to Sri Vaishnava principle that Perumal is the one and only ultimate truth. Ramanuja instructed Mudaliya Andan to wash his feet in the common village pond. Soon the people who drank water from that sanctified pond suddenly became devoted to Ramanuja and became his Shishyas in huge numbers. Baduganambi was one such person who was reformed and later became a great example to prove Acharya Bhakti. Then they reached Tondanur, where there was a king named Vittaladevaraya. This king had a daughter who was possessed by an evil spirit. Ramanuja cured the girl and the king became his ardent devotee. Ramanuja then named the king Vishnuvardhanaraya. In this town, 12,000 Jain philosophers gathered together. They wished to debate with Ramanuja. Ramanuja agreed and asked for a curtain to be drawn between him and them. Behind the curtain, he took his original Swarupam of Adisheshan with 1,000 heads. He spoke eloquently and won the debate. Many of the Jain monks became his disciples. Once, while living in Tondanur, Ramanuja used up all his thiruman and felt sad. He didn't have any more thiruman and he couldn't go back to Srirangam for it. In his dream that night, Perumal of thirunArAyaNapura came and spoke to him. Perumal said, "I'm waiting for you in thirunArAyaNapura. Here we have thiruman too." With the help of the king, Ramanuja reached thirunArAyaNapura. But to his dismay, he couldn't find any temple there. He was sad and rested for a while. Again Perumal came in his dream and showed him the exact location where he was buried. Ramanuja brought out Perumal, sang the Pashuram from thirunArAyaNapura, which Nammalvar had sung in praise of thirunArAyaN Perumal. He then found Thiruman and applied it in 12 places on his body. He also cleared the place, built a temple, and arranged for people to take care of the temple and Perumal. But since there was no Utsava idol or processional deity, they couldn't conduct any Utsavams. Ramanuja felt sad one more time. Perumal appeared in his dream again and said that the Utsava Ramapriyan was at the palace of the Delhi Badshah. Ramanuja then travelled to the Delhi Sultan's palace. He asked for Perumal and the Badshah took him to his daughter's room. There the little girl was caring for the Perumal idol very dearly. Ramanuja called out to Perumal. He said, "Shallapillai, come here." Immediately Perumal came to Ramanuja and sat on his lap. All the onlookers were amazed by this sight. The Delhi Badshah gave many gifts and ornaments for Perumal, and Ramanuja brought back Perumal to thirunArAyaNapuram. The daughter of the Badshah was very sad to be separated from Perumal and followed Ramanuja's party. Near the outskirts of thirunArAyaNapuram, Perumal took her inside him just like he did Andal. Ramanuja named her Thulukanachiyar and consecrated her at the holy feet of Perumal. Then he consecrated the Utsava Vigraham and conducted all the Utsavams.
ஆழ்வார் எம்பெருமானார் ஜீயர் திருவடிகளே சரணம், ஜீயர் திருவடிகளே சரணம்.
To learn such valuable information about our Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya, please download KOYIL, KOYIL app from Google Play Store or Apple App Store. Our website is koyil.org, KOYIL.org.